The next step that we have is to use Braintree for transaction. So we'll have to go through their documentation to find out how to do that. So we'll go to developers.braintreepayments.com. In here, we'll click on Get Started. We have set up your client option and we'll be using JavaScript. So we'll scroll down and we have the code to add drop-in in our project. Our code will be slightly different than what you see here, but let's copy this to get started and make modifications. So let me copy this, let me switch back to the project, and we'll close everything that we have open. And we will open up the summary view inside the card controller. Perfect. We'll scroll to the very end here and we have our section script. In here, let me add a script tag and let me paste the code that we copied. We'll remove the head and meta here, and this script that we have for the drop-in, we'll cut that and paste it outside. We'll remove the head and body as well, and we'll remove the body, and that's good. Then we need to start with few things at a time. Right now we are making modifications in the JavaScript, but we have not created the gateway. We'll worry about that later on. Let me remove this here. Now this is all JavaScript code. What we'll do is if we go to the very top here, we have a form. We can add this on the button or we can add on the post event of the form. So right here, let me give it an ID of payment form. We'll copy this ID, we'll scroll to the end, and we'll make sure that we want to get that form right here. So we'll paste that and we'll get that in a variable form. Then we want to create the drop-in for Braintree that it is doing right here. On that we have a function which has the error and instance. On that instance, what it is doing is it is adding an event listener for a click. Now this was a button, but we want it on the form. So we can add form, and on form we want an event listener which will be submit. The first thing that we want is on submit of a form, we want the event.prevent_default. So that will stop the form from being posted automatically, because we want to add something before the forms get submitted. Once we prevent its default behavior, here what we want to do is we want to add the nonce to the form and submit. Let me clean up the code here, and we'll be adding the nonce inside the instance.requestPayment method. You can see we have the comment right here that submit payload.nonce to your server. Before we do that, let's analyze what is nonce and why it is important in Braintree transaction.